Man, am I excited to talk about the Ottawa Senators. They were talking so much crap online against the Red Wings about who's going to be a playoff team. And so I want to go over the offseason review they got, or off their offseason, what happened with them. Maybe a little bit of the trade deadline because there isn't some important piece there too. I also want to go over what their up and coming season is going to go. I actually think that they're going to be decent. I can still see them being probably going for that playoff spot, but I don't know if they're going to make it at this point. To me, I see them probably the fifth in the division. So again, potentially could take one of those wildcard spots, but the Metro is pretty stacked in that case. So I still see them missing the playoffs, but we will see what they end up doing. So like I said, I'm excited to go over them. So let's just jump right into it right now. So well, real quick, we're gonna go over some of their additions and subtractions. I'll go over subtractions first. You have they added Kubalik, but they lost DeBrincat. So Kubalik went over into the Ottawa in the deal, and of course DeBrincat going into the Red Wings. They lost Derek Brassard, Cam Talbot, as well as Austin Watson. And then Austin Watson is going to as a tryout with the Lightning. Talbot signed with the LA Kings, and Brassard I think he's unsigned at this point as well. So the big pickup that they did get in the offseason was Tarasenko as well as Korpisalo as well. So we'll be going over some of those contracts. So we'll just jump over to the cap friendly right now. So cap friendly at this point right here. So they don't have much cap space. They can sign maybe again an 850,000 player, but really all their big moves are done. And that's great because that's kind of where you want. They did their big move. They did one of the big moves last trade deadline, right? By picking up Chikrin as well as picking up Tarasenko this year. So their roster size is a little small at 18 right now. So I'm curious on what else they're going to do. But maybe they're looking to get some of those guys graduated up into their system. So we will see. So going over I want to go over what they did. Again, I am going to go back to the trade deadline for this because they did end up picking up Jacob Chikrin from the Arizona Coyotes, sending over a first-round pick as well as two second-round picks. So there's some good conditions. Actually, if you want to know, so they received a 2023 pick. That's what ends up happening. So no big deal. I went through this trade when it happened. So if you guys want to check that video out, you're more than welcome to. But I'm not going to go over it too much. Picking up Patrick Brown, nothing crazy. Really, they weren't trying to go for the playoffs. They were, I think they were trying to a little bit, but they weren't going full bore at this point. So, but the big trade I want to go over is the Alex DeBrincat trade. I actually do want to go over some of his stats as well, so we'll bring those up. He had a down year on a Ottawa Senators team that almost had the playoffs, 66 points in 82 games, so playing the full season. He's looking at a little Iron Man streak right here. Look at that, good for him. So. Playing 2 full seasons in a row. Again, with Chicago, 78 points, 82 games. That's the Alex DeBrincat they traded for. A 40-goal scorer, by the way, twice 40-goal scorer. So that's kind of what you want to see. 78 points in 82 games. But again, did not put up that same goal totals. It's a similar assistance, but a lot of people blamed it on not having great Patrick Kane in this case. So, but still a respectable amount of assists and a good amount of goals, 27. Which is one of the reasons I think that the the fact that he wanted to go to Detroit is one of the reasons the deal worked out this way. I also did a video on this trade. I'm going to go over it really quickly. Essentially, Red Wings get DeBrincat. They send over roster player Kubalik, Sabrango prospect, more of a C-level prospect. He might work out. He might be like a bottom line guy, but he's not a great prospect. The nice thing is that Sabrango is from Ottawa, so. That actually works out really well for him, so we're very, very happy for him to go over there. Of course, going to send the first-round pick, but Red Wings decide whether they're sending Boston's first-round pick or they're sending their Red Wings pick. So it could be either one from 2024, and if Boston's is top 10 protected, so if it is top 10 protected, then they get an unprotected 2025 Boston pick. So a little complicated, and then throw in a fourth-round pick as well there. So again, for Alex DeBrincat, and also who. By the way, he signed a 4-year deal, so which is exciting. So, so again, I think they did okay. I think for the fact that he said he wasn't going to sign with Ottawa, they still got a first-round pick. They still got a good player in Kubalik. Kubalik has actually had some pretty good stats. I think he has like a 30-goal season in his rookie season. He can play really well. When he scores well. So. Going over here, just to show some of his stats right here. So with the Blackhawks, I think it was his rookie year, 30 goals, which is awesome. Sweet. 17 goals, 15 goals, 20 goals. So, I mean, you're really getting almost a half point per game player. I mean, he was a half point per game player over that in 3 of his 4 NHL seasons. So I definitely can see him being a value add. I liked Kubalik. I thought he was a good player. I think there wasn't much spots left for him. I think the Red Wings didn't need to go for that top line player, so which is why it ended up working out well for them. So going over some of the key signings that they ended up getting, like we talked about a little bit, picking up Tarasenko, as well as a couple of those guys like Kubalik. Nothing too crazy. Nothing really crazy here. Oh yeah, and then the Jonas Korpisalo, who they end up signing to a 5-year contract. So that is huge. So let's run over to their lines real quick. Here is the lines, the depth charts. We're gonna go through some of the points as well, some of the players that they're very excited about. And we'll go over some of the line combinations as well through daily faceoff real quick. So Brady Tkachuk, Tim Stützle, and Tarasenko. That'll be a dynamic line. I'm super excited about that. High skill, high grit, and a goal scorer. That's going to be huge. Claude Giroux playing, that's your veteran player. Josh Norris coming back from injury. Drake Batherson, awesome. Ridley Gregg, Shane Pinto playing awesome, great center. Kubalik there's on that third line spot. That's a great spot for him. Can jump in on the second power play unit if needed. Zach McEwen's a good pickup. And then Matthew Joseph. This is your bottom line, guys. Nothing too crazy here. So, but again, look at these point totals. This is where I believe that Stützle can be a 100-point guy. I totally believe it. I mean, look at these players at the top already. You got, look at Tkachuk, over a point per game. Stützle, 1.15 points per game. Huge, almost 40 goals. Just missed it, just barely. I think he can be a 100-point guy as soon as this year. He signed a huge contract till 2031. Tarasenko, just that 1-year deal. So this isn't working out really well for them because if they decide to go, if they're looking like they're going to be going for the playoffs, they can keep him. If not so, flip him, right? He's definitely can still get value. Probably can get a second-round pick from him, maybe even a first-round pick, and then just kind of build it up and maybe even trade that next year if they need to for a roster player. So we will see there. Giroux, 79 points, 82 games. He still has it. 35 goals. Phenomenal. Love that, especially for his age at 35 years old. I really love that for Claude Giroux. Josh Norris, again, mostly out with injury. I mean, eight games. That tells you enough. But he's going to be here for the long term until 2030. So hopefully he can bounce back. Drake Batherson, great supporting cast, 62 points in 82 games. Love that. Kubalik, again, like we were talking about, good pickup. A little over half a point per game last season. I think they played great in that third line. Shane Pinto, not signed yet. No cap hit. Yeah, he's an RFA. That's why. So he's not signed yet. So we'll see where he comes in at. But as we showed over here, they don't really have space to pick someone up here. So that means they're probably not done, which is interesting. So I'm curious on who they're going to move out to be able to make room. That is interesting. Maybe it is Kubalik. No, I don't think maybe they want to keep Kubalik. I'm curious who they're going to move out. Now looking through all these guys, they just signed Brandstrom. Hamnick's going to be. They signed Hamnick for 2 years, so he'll be around for a little bit. They can probably move him. It's going to be Artem Zub. No, Artem Zub, maybe. We'll see. I mean, that may be the guy. I'm curious. I think I've heard some of the rumors that he might be gone. So I'm really interested. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you know they're going to trade, by the way, hit like, subscribe. If you want to hear more stuff, we're going to be going through all 32 teams. So we are now on Ottawa. I think we're at the halfway point at this point. So going through the rest of the teams in the NHL. So let me know what your thoughts are. Appreciate it. So anywho, again, more so this bottom line. It's a fourth line. It's fine. It's fine. Matthew Joseph playing a little higher up in the lineup according to this depth chart. Interesting. Again, not huge. Not super impressed with it actually, with that bottom line, but that's fine. It's a fringe playoff team. Like I said, I think they have an opportunity to potentially do it, but they have to beat out in their Atlantic division alone. You have Tampa, you have Florida, you have Tampa, Florida, Toronto, all right there, and Boston. Those who all that made it last year, right? Maybe Boston or Florida doesn't make it back. That's an opportunity, or maybe even Tampa, right? But Toronto, I have going first in the division, so I don't see it. But then you're also going against Red Wings, who definitely got better. You're going against the Buffalo Sabres, who definitely got better. I mean, so where are they going to make room for this? I think it's definitely going to be a struggle for them to win a playoff spot, but I definitely think there are opportunities. I don't know if they really got better, but it was an okay. Again, I don't think they're not fully there yet. They have some really great players, but then their stars are better, but their depth's not good enough yet. So again, that's why I'm not super impressed with this bottom lineup. Honestly, this fourth line for sure, even a little bit of this third line as well. So I'm going over to their top pair, Jacob Chikrin, Tom Shabbat. Love that. I mean, these guys are going to be great. Chikrin, a great pickup. 33 points in 48 games. So we're going to see it. I mean, look at these. Look at that time. 24 minutes, 22 minutes. That's what you want to see with those top pair in D. Love that. Jake Sanderson, he's going to be one of your guys' top players as well. So I know Ottawa fans are super hyped about him. So as it should be, a 21-year-old, 6'3". That's a good sized guy, man. Heck yeah. Again, Artem Zoo, I'm not sure how long he'll be sticking around. Again, that's what I heard. I heard a little, but it at 2020 or 2027 is a bit of big contract to dump. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. But let me know what your thoughts are, because that's what I heard. But I could be wrong on the Artem Zoo. So again, maybe I'm incorrect in this. But let me know what your thoughts are. Ottawa fans, I'd love some feedback here. Eric Branson, small signing, fine. Again, bottom pair. Travis Hamonic, don't love it, but fine. So Anton Forsberg was your better goalie this year. So at a .902 save percentage, still not great. Didn't get great goaltending. It's amazing that they claimed him on waivers, and he's really bouncing back. I think he's gonna be. These guys are gonna be fighting. Well, not. Forsberg will be your backup, and now the way that Korpisalo played in the playoffs as well as last season, .914, 2.87. That's awesome, especially with a Columbus team which is not that great. And it played really well for LA. And I'm actually surprised that they didn't keep him, but understandably, signing them for 5 years at a cap of $4 million, LA was not going to do that. They just made that mistake with Cal Peterson. They want to go short term in this case until they can find a bona fide starter, not just a goalie, a bona fide, consistent starter. I wouldn't be surprised if Hellebuck ends up going to the LA Kings, which would be wild. I'd lose my mind, honestly. So I want to just jump over to Cam Talbot. One of the reasons the Ottawa Senators were not that great was some of their goaltending. Again, .898 over 36 games last year. Just not great. 2.93, not great or not terrible on the goals against, but just the saving. He just needed to save better. So that's the big thing. He needs to be able to save more. He needs to be able to save more, especially with how much he's playing. So again, he's playing out in LA now, so we'll see how he bounces back there. So hopefully he does. Maybe he bounces back. So it was crazy enough. I actually again a Red Wings fan out in Detroit. Went to the draft party and I talked to Ville Husso, goalie of the Red Wings, and I asked him who was the goalie they wanted him to bring. I wanted him to bring in I said, who is someone from your home country that you want to bring in, which is Finland, I believe. And so he said, I want to bring in Jonas Korpisalo. I was like, heck yeah, that'd be sick. I really liked him. I thought he'd be a great backup. Again, he got paid to be that starter position, so good for him. Very excited for Jonas Korpisalo. I'm excited for you guys, Ottawa fans. I don't think there should be as much beef. I like that there's camaraderie. There's a little bit of tension. I do like that, but I don't think you guys don't need to hate. We're both on the come up, right? So to me, the come up is going to be Buffalo, Montreal, Detroit, and Ottawa, and the other four teams are going to be crap, right? I mean, we'll see what happens with Toronto, but in my opinion, these are the Ottawa and Buffalo and Detroit are all on the same similar points in their rebuild. Ottawa with a little bit more draft luck, so. Which, by the way, good for you guys. Picking up Tim Stützle, great pickup. Brady Tkachuk, you guys have some great pickups. So I'm excited for you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit like, subscribe, and let me know what your thoughts are on everything and how I can help. And I can't wait to learn more about the Ottawa Senators, man. Bye. See ya.